Hello, everybody. Ella J here for a wrestling gala, and today I am joined by an ice cold killer, your inaugural and current Wrestle Pro Women's Champion, Lady Frost. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, superstar? I saw you at one big old pay-per-view event for WWE.
Yeah, I might have been there. It was a
Maybe.
first, hopefully, of many, but we are not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you, Miss Ma'am. You are doing amazing things. And obviously, we are talking here ahead of your huge title defense you have coming up at Wrestle Pro's Violencetine's Day this weekend against Renee Michelle. So, if I'm
Yeah,
correct, you'll be facing each other for the first time one on one.
you are correct. Violencetine's Day. It's a tongue
I
twister.
know.
And listen, it's very, very fitting because one of my mottos, there will be no love lost. Because I'm Lady Frost. So yeah, it's Valentine's Day, but no love lost there. But it is our first time wrestling. I'm excited. We've been on the same shows. She's been a lot of big places. I know she's a great name, great talent. So it will be premiering on, well, airing on Premiere Network, which is something a little different. I think people are used to Fight TV, but yeah, Premiere Network. It'll be there if you can't be in Rahway, New Jersey.
I know. I'm super excited. Like you mentioned, you two have worked on some of the same shows together, like Empower, and then obviously like Knockouts, Knockdown, and all that stuff. So, how are you? I mean, you've faced new opponents before, but you two are also kind of veterans in the game. I believe she has a couple more years of experience on you. But how are you specifically preparing for Renee Michelle, and most importantly, your first title defense?
Yeah, so I think no one wants to win a championship and then lose it the very next match, right? Like the first defense. Well, it's technically the second defense for me. But I think with any new opponent, it's really a guessing game to an extent because you've never been in there before. But that also works in my favor because she doesn't know what to expect either. You can do your homework, you can study, you can prepare. But until you get in there with someone, you don't really know what that chemistry is going to be like. So I'm excited, I'm apprehensive, but also, I'm in my bag right now. I feel like that's mine. It's my title. You're not taking it from me. I won that. I won a whole tournament for that belt. I took it to Alaska. So I'm excited. I feel like this has become like a home crowd for me. Like this is my like home promotion. I've spent a lot of time at Wrestle Pro, done a couple trips to Alaska with them, and I feel like I've really grown the most in this company. So I've earned that belt, and yeah, I plan on doing whatever it takes to keep it.
I'm curious. Obviously, you said you've grown a lot. You've had a whirlwind of a last year. What are some ways that you felt like you've grown personally or professionally inside Wrestle Pro?
So I think I, for me personally, I have to get like beaten down to a pulp to really grow the most. And it's those big strides. I think we're like slowly beaten down. You get to a point where you're like, all right, enough. I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. Or, you get to a point, good or bad, it's a breaking point. And I think I had a lot of that last year. I had a lot of heartbreak. And I feel like the redemption story was huge. I feel like I went to Mexico and really proved my worth, my value, my talent. And that in itself, wrestling growth wise, was so difficult and challenging. I don't think people understand unless you've been there. The language barrier, the height elevation that you can't breathe, like all of those things are so taxing when you're in a ring. And really the communication language verbally is different, but then even wrestling. And yes, wrestling is in international language, but in every country it's just a little bit different. So yeah, that really forced me to level up. I think I learned a lot in my two tours over there recently, and I have a different verve for this now. I think there's a different aggression and sense of urgency in my attack when I'm in there.
There is, and you, like you said, this is kind of your home promotion now. Obviously, you won't be in Alaska; you will be in Rahway, New Jersey, which is a
Yeah.
state that you've been done fairly well inside. I think, at least according to Cage Match, you've ventured in there over a dozen times. So, do you have any favorite memories in New Jersey, in or outside of wrestling? Because you travel a lot, anyways.
Yeah. So I do. I try not to go too often to the same place, right? You don't want to saturate
Yeah.
what's being done. And there's a ton of wrestling in New Jersey right now, but I happen to think Wrestle Pro is the best in New Jersey. But I feel like I've told this memory once to someone, and it was like a shift in my perspective in wrestling. I know this match specifically with Riley Shepard, and it was like an outdoor show. And it was one of those matches, I hate to say this because I care very much about my work, but it was almost like a whatever kind of feel for me. It was just like it was a falls count anywhere, like weapons. We had all sorts of things. So it's not like you're going in there like, I'm gonna do the grapples, I'm gonna do the technical wrestling. But it was then where I really grew, because you were like right next to the fans interacting. I dumped an ice bucket on her head. It was like just a very relaxed sort of fight, if that makes sense. Like, so that's my favorite memory, definitely from New Jersey. So that was a couple years ago now, but I love that match. It was like an all-out war. I went through a door that match. Like it was a lot.
You did incorporate your signature kind of ice though. So I mean that
Yeah.
kind of works for you. And
Yeah.
obviously this event itself is around the theme of Valentine's Day with a little bit of violence. So I'm curious, do you have any fond Valentine's Day memories with maybe some Victor Benjamin?
So this is the deal. I had a dog for 14 and a half years, and his birthday was on Valentine's Day. Yep, Scrappy. So my hubby and I never really celebrated Valentine's Day. And then once he passed, and we had two dogs. Once they passed, we waited a little while, and we adopted two wolves, essentially, if you've seen them, the
Yes.
proper poochies. And we had no idea. We went to pick them up. We filled out all of the paperwork. And when we signed the papers, their freaking birthday is Valentine's Day. Yep.
It's just
So
meant to be.
yes. So I was like, thank you, Scrappy in heaven. And then again, no Valentine's Day celebrating for us.
Yeah.
It's the dog's birthday. They're our kids. So every year we just do like little cakes and treats and stuff for all of us. We might get a card or something, but like we're not big on it. But it's our kid's birthday.
I know you are good at cooking up some sweets though. So do you know what you might make for this year? We won't tell Victor Benjamin if you have any surprises.
I'm baking for the dogs, not for him.
Fair. Fair
it
enough.
will involve peanut butter.
Oh,
We know. It will definitely involve peanut butter. And the dogs, they love it. They get a spoonful every night when he makes his protein shake. So I think I'm gonna do like little muffins. We'll see. And then like decorate them. I'm not the best baker, to be honest. Like I stay in my wheelhouse. I'm more of a chef, like a cook, because I don't like to follow rules and recipes. Like
you make your own.
Is like, yeah, very specific. Like you can only do this much. And I'm like, no. Cooking, I'm like, little bit of this, little of that, no little of this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're off track. I'm a wrestler. And baking on the side is,
you are also doing a lot of other things on the side, which we'll talk about in a bit. But obviously, Violencetine, besides Valentine's Day, has the notion of violence, of course. So
yes.
you kind of mentioned a crazy match with a door and an ice bucket. But I'm curious for you, what has been like the craziest or most hardcore spot or match you've witnessed in professional wrestling?
Witnessed or that I have been a part of?
How about both?
So I'll start with myself and Heather Monroe had a crazy match where I did a moonsault onto her. She was on top of Legos, and then I put a metal chair on top of her, and I moonsaulted from the top onto the sandwich of the chair and her and the Legos. So that was painful.
I can imagine her back. Done. Oh my God.
We had a lot going on in that match. And I don't witness a lot of like live crazy death match stuff, to be honest. Like I haven't been on a show where I was like, oh my God, that I can remember. I don't know.
Fair. Maybe
so
that's
I can't give you one.
Maybe that's a good thing. Well, you'll save it for yourself then, it appears.
Yeah. If I need it. I think that's like I'm keeping that in the back pocket for like when it matters. There's no need for to,
Yeah, you wanted the story to make sense, but like you mentioned at the beginning of this event will also be streaming live on the new Premiere streaming network. So is that for you to be a part of what is that like for you to be a part of the early stages of this new platform? It's bringing a whole new library to professional wrestling.
Yeah, so I love being a part of new things because you get on the ground floor and people kind of identify you with something that's new, upcoming, and growing and important. It's always important to be a staple, I think, of anything, and not like, you know, someone that came in the aftermath. Like obviously that happens, but I think it's cool to start something new and fresh. People are always kind of interested in what else is out there, I think.
And I'm really excited. This match card itself, obviously, we have you versus Renee Michelle. This card is stacked with lots of exciting matches. We've got Jay Lethal versus CPA, Brian Myers versus Powerhouse Hobbs, Matt McIntosh versus Action Andretti, and much, much more. So kind of other than yours, of course, is there a particular
And
Oh, there is.
Victor Benjamin
There
will be
is.
in action.
He will be.
Will be.
So
His
maybe
match
that kind of answers the question. What match are you kind of looking forward to the most, other than
that
yours?
one. Yeah, he's been on like this no F's given streak, I
Yeah.
feel like he's tapped into, honestly, like the true old school fighter mentality where he used to be, like his training regimen, like the way that he's presented himself, the way that he's structuring his matches, like he's in fight mode, which is very appealing, I think, visually, because it's just him, right? Like there's no gimmicks to it. Like I feel like we were heavy on the presentation, and I feel now he's like, no fuss. He's like, I'm getting in there and I'm beating your ass. And like, you're like, all right, I respect it. Like I get it. I see it. Get the job done.
We look forward to that. Like I said, this card is absolutely stacked. I'm super excited for it. And we mentioned before, you yourself have been getting into your groove now this year. We're now in the month of February, the second month of the year. So you've had a little bit to kind of settle into the new year. So how are you feeling personally and professionally now in the new year, of course, in correspondence with your free agency?
I think I've turned a corner. You know, there's so many ups and downs. Like if you asked me last week, it was different. You asked me this week, like everything changes quickly. I feel good about the work that I'm putting out, and I think that's important, right? Quality over quantity. I'm kind of that way. I don't want to work 3 to 5 times a weekend in the same little area in town. I think it's important to make things matter and make things special. Like I'm not trying to, you know, it's no secret I'm not 18 or 20 years old. Uh, so what I do, I want it to have value. I want it to feel important and meaningful, and people to really understand that I'm giving everything I have to these matches, and I'm proud of that. And I think personally, I am exploring everything outside of wrestling as well, so that I'm more whole in other areas, and I feel like I can give back to people outside of wrestling. I think it's very important for me. Like I feel very hollow if I don't provide a service for other people, if that makes sense. So I need to continue to do those things outside of wrestling.
You perfectly segue me, Lady Frost, because you have, I mean, even right now you're kind of at your one of your other many jobs. You could, like you said, you want to continue to build your resume outside of professional wrestling. One of
Yeah.
those ways was by completing 30 hours of classes to become certified as a microblading artist. So how did you get into this venture, and how was this process for you?
Well, firstly, yes, I'm in gym clothes. I'm sorry, even though my sweet little hat.
I love
Um,
your hat though.
so I'm in between gym clients, but I am a certified cosmetologist since I was like 20 years old. And then I was certified in permanent makeup around that time as well. It wasn't supremely popular like it is now. And the industry has grown so much. And microblading is one of the newer ways to permanently tattoo eyebrows.
Yes.
Permanently is used loosely. It's about 1 to 5 years that they last. But it's a service that, like I said, is very popular right now and lucrative. And I was interested in learning extra techniques. So instead of like eyeliner and lip liner and those kind of things, this is like very specific. And it takes a steady hand to create little hair strokes in someone's face. But I love it. I just wanted something else to be able to offer, and always have something in the back burner just in case. Like I have cosmetology, I have hair, I have skin, I have nails, I have permanent makeup, I have the gym, obviously, that's never going away. So all of these things kind of just help me fill my plate.
Yeah, and I know at one point you had 4 jobs going on simultaneously at once. You have even more in your back pocket, but that for
Yeah.
you has been really rewarding, obviously financially and kind of personally too, for yourself, fulfilling. So, I mean, you're involved in the gym. You're starting maybe to do more microblading.
Yeah.
You obviously have wrestling, but what other current work what else is on your plate right now currently that you're active in?
I mean, I still have hair clients.
Yes.
They're mostly like friends and family at this point because they have to come to my house. Legally, we can't do that. I don't collect money from them. So I still do hair. I am going to start a little business with the microblading in a studio somewhere. So I have a space that I can do all of that. And I think that's it as far as jobs right now. Like I have fan pages, if those count. That is work. Posting on social media is work.
I know.
I'm so like, and I'm probably like jogging myself, but I'm so not the girl that wakes up and is like, I want to do my hair and makeup to take pictures. Like, it's not my thing.
No,
it is not my thing.
Same.
I'm a gym rat. I want to be in no makeup and a hat, and like that's it. So a lot of my like fan pages, you get more me behind the scenes and less like Lady Frost presentation. Everyone's like, where are the eyes, the blue eyes, the blue lipstick? And I'm like, I don't walk around like that.
No.
Like most people know, but like yeah, it's a lot. It's, it's a lot. I'm not going down to the gym as Lady Frost. So
I feel that because our world is so saturated in it. I once in a while will have the urge to, but most of the time I'm like you. I just like want to chill, not wearing makeup while like working and stuff. So like I get you. Like comfort is that, but sometimes we get the motivation for it,
right.
Once in a while. It's not consuming you, but kind of to close things out, of course, you've been enjoying your status as a free agent, like we mentioned before. You've opened the door for opportunities in Mexico, more across the USA, and hopefully some more places in the future. But as of now, you basically are the face of the Wrestle Pro women's division. So assuming that you retain on Saturday, I know Lena Cross is one you want to rematch with, but who would you like to see step up next? Again, assuming you retain and all of that fun stuff.
Oh, well, Lena and I do have a rematch set for Alaska.
Yes.
And if you haven't watched the first match, it is on the Wrestle Pro pages right now. The link for YouTube is on there. That'll be a good one for sure. But who do I want to step up? Honestly, anyone that thinks they can provide a good challenge for me. Probably someone that I haven't wrestled before. I would enjoy that. Someone new, again, a fresh face if I retain. And I don't know who's allowed to work the indies right now if they're contracted, but I'm here. I'm waiting.
We are seeing some AEW affiliations on this show, so who knows? Maybe somebody from that women's division might.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the whole world is waiting for Chris Stapp to come back, and
I know.
I know. Listen, I'm waiting too. Hey, Chris, love you, but gloves are off when we get in the ring.
I think she's been injured for about 5 months. I think she might have a few more months to go. So hopefully maybe by spring, maybe. But
hey,
yeah, no.
I'm patient for some Chris.
Yeah.
I'll be patient.
Think we all are. Legit was just talking about this the other day. We're so ready for Chris Statlander to return.
I know. And I think the circumstances make it even more pronounced, right? Yeah. That she is missed. And that's amazing. I hope that she knows that, sees that, feels that. And it's incredible that people remember her and want her because there's a void, right? They're missing. So yeah, but she's insanely talented. And I know that she came from CAP, which is the feeder school for Wrestle Pro. So we got some ties in there. She's their first, I think, homegrown girl that has had some good success. So the story there writes itself.
Lady Frost versus Chris Statlander. Chris, you need to heal up soon, please, for the good of all of us.
I didn't mean to call you out today, but here we are.
Here we are. Now, Lady Frost, before I let you go, can you please share where the people can find you on social media?
At Real Lady Frost. And if it's not at Real Lady Frost, it ain't me.
She is verified on Twitter, I do not. Are you verified on Insta yet?
I'm not. I know.
They gotta get you that.
I know. My links are all in there though, for all the other sites. But yeah, Twitter's a good place. ladyfrostbookings@gmail.com if you'd like to book me. I am pretty busy. I'm not gonna lie, it's exciting. Wow. I'm like into July at this point.
We love to see that. Booked
one weekend
and busy.
Open. Yeah. One weekend is like a high school reunion or something, and then our wedding anniversary, our 5-year. And I'm like, are we gonna wrestle? Like we always wrestle on anniversaries. Like, can we go somewhere? But yeah.
But of course, don't forget to tune into Wrestle Pro's Violencetine's Day coming up this Saturday, February 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on the premier streaming network where Lady Frost defends her Wrestle Pro Women's Championship against Renee Michelle, competitor she's facing for the very first
Look
time.
at you. You just cut my promos for me, please.
You're welcome.
Like, that's the perfect promo. You said it so elegantly too. It's just like, for the very first time.
It is. I'm looking so forward to this card. Again, thank you so much for joining me here today, and go kick some butt on Saturday, Lady Frost.
Thank you. Thank you.